Yeah. Okay.
SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs.
Okay, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for all the love on the first, couple videos.
Oh, yeah. Awesome to see from all of y'all.
I know, it was kind of fun. By all of y'all, I mean there's 100 of you. But still
exciting.
It was still really exciting because that was our first week, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
So we have another one here today from Evan Edinger, our fave. And yeah, he's basically talking about banned foods in the
U.S. versus the U.K.
Yeah, something like that.
Should be good.
I don't know. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This right here is a Kinder Surprise egg. It's a chocolate, it's a toy, and it's loved the world over. Except in the US, where it's actually banned for reasons you're probably not aware of. Because I wasn't either until I researched this video. I'd heard many rumors. None of them were true.
So, I grew up on the Kinder Surprise egg.
It was actually a thing, for a while.
Well, no, the Wonder Ball. We did this when we were talking about this.
Okay.
The Wonder Ball is my favorite. It's I wonder, what a boo.
Those are
What's
kind of
in
cool.
the Wonder Ball? Yeah, it had Flintstone gummies on the inside. Or not gummies, the chalk ones. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, let's get started.
Pretty good.
All that and more in today's video, where we look at all the foods that the US has decided to ban from around the world to quote-unquote protect its citizens. Let's see about that. This pairs really well with the video I made a couple weeks ago, where we look at all the American food and food additives that are banned around the world. First up on our list of world foods the US has banned, haggis. Wait, haggis, the Scottish dish that I had to learn about to get my British citizenship, came up specifically in my British citizenship test video? That haggis? What's wrong with that? It's pretty much a mixture of oats and spices rammed into a sheep's stomach.
Okay.
That doesn't sound that horrible.
See, and I'm on the other.
Though horribly immoral.
That sounds. What?
Isn't that immoral? No, that's not
Why
immoral.
would-
It's not getting shoved through the
You
mother
are so
alive.
Gen Z.
Oh
I'm
my
a
God.
millennial for everyone that's wondering. But the big thing with that is I don't find that to be. I find it super disgusting. But I'm also I've never tried it, so I can't judge.
I mean, it's oats in a meat-shaped thing. I mean, that's basically all that fast food is
It's
nowadays.
keto. Wait, it might be keto.
It might be keto.
Oh God, don't let the weird keto people find out about
haggis
haggis.
keto? Oh no.
Liver and sheep lung. But it's been banned in the US since 1971? What gives? It's one of the specific ingredients. Is it sheep stomach? Nah, sheep liver? That's totally fine. Sheep lung? Banned! That is where the US FDA draws the line.
Oh,
Well,
my God.
I guess that makes sense if you think, but no, it doesn't. Despite
make any
real
sense.
haggis being banned in the States, you can buy lungless haggis, which is a really weird sentence
Travesty.
to say. But if you are caught with traditional haggis in the USA, you will be fleeced of your money because you have to pay a fine. Okay, it's illegal. I'm done with the sheep puns. He said sheepishly. But the whole
Oh my
sheep lung
God.
thing is another reason why
Ridiculous.
black pudding, a pivotal part of a full English breakfast, is also banned in the States. Absolutely no lungs allowed. And so they replaced the black pudding with more pancakes and syrup, which is actually just corn syrup. Look it up. Most American pancake syrup has no maple.
This
Wait, what?
deeply, this is
Oh my
ridiculous.
God, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, water, cellulose gum. That's just sugar.
A lot
Caramel
of-
color. Oh my God, that's why it tastes so good.
A lot of maple syrup isn't traditional maple. Unless you get traditional maple syrup, there's no maple in it. It's just all sugar.
Maybe that's why I don't like the taste of real maple syrup.
That might actually be it.
Okay.
It all is just high fructose corn syrup. Sometimes I just want the corn syrup rather than the maple syrup, and it's a third
Yeah.
of the cost.
Yeah.
Number 2. Now, this one actually wildly surprised me. Have you ever heard of Tonka beans? If you're an American, you're like,
No.
I know what a Tonka truck is. Well, yes, imagine a Tonka truck,
I
except
barely do.
don't do that because it's a bean. Tonka beans have an intensely strong flavor that resembles vanilla with a touch of magnolia and some caramel mixed in as well. And it is unanimously
Sounds
loved
good.
by all gourmet chefs. And think of it as a vanilla bean. You don't actually eat the vanilla bean. It's not like a can of Heinz. It's just, you take the little tiny bits out and you mix it into your dish, and that nice little flavor flavors your dessert. But this amazing flavor has a toxic secret. You see, it contains a chemical compound called coumarin, which in large enough quantities is incredibly toxic to your liver and can also kill you. Yikes. So once a study had found that dogs and rats died from just 2 teaspoons of the stuff, the US FDA officially banned Tonka beans in 1954. However,
Of
it is
course.
such a ubiquitous ingredient in gourmet
But guns, on the other hand.
If it,
Okay.
if it
cooking
kills you
that
through,
gourmet chefs will continue to illegally import Tonka beans into the States, despite the fact that the FDA have actually performed raids on different chefs' kitchens, going straight to their spice cupboard.
Can you imagine that? Wait, whoa.
Wait,
We just got invited to Alinea.
We did?
Remember? I was like, we just got invited, but this was like earlier this week. I was like, oh yeah, we just got invited to like this restaurant. It's like a, like, what is it? Michelin star restaurant.
We could try Tonka beans.
And it's literally called, it's this one. It's this exact one in this article.
Wild.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Cool. But can you imagine like people rating a like restaurant for Tonka beans? Oh my God.
Like,
like, show me the beans. It's quite wild. Yet, despite the fact of there being threats of raids and also it being illegal completely, the U.S. is still the #1 importer of Tonka beans around the world.
Oh my God.
checks out.
Love it when a law works. But if Tonka beans are so dangerous, why is it so beloved in Latin America? And why is it that the EU hasn't banned it? They seem to be pretty trigger happy on making sure that everybody's safe and all. Lame. Time to finally use those math degrees I got. All right, let's do some math here, okay?
Oh, God,
so,
here you go.
did you know that an amount of coumarin enough to kill you would be 1 gram? All right, so we got to avoid having 1 gram. How many Tonka beans would it take to have 1 gram of coumarin? Well, that would be 30 whole beans. However, like I said, you don't eat a whole bean. It's actually used for flavoring a dish. Now, how many flavorings can we get out of 1 bean? Well, 1 Tonka bean results in 80 dishes. So 1 bean flavors 80 dishes.
God.
And since you need 30 beans in order to have a toxic amount of coumarin in your system, that means you'd have to have 2,400 dishes worth of Tonka
Again,
beans
the United
in order
States
to have a
is
toxic effect on
absolutely
your body.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Americans do eat a lot, though. So
I mean, that's just like our government in a nutshell. Like,
Yeah.
It's basically just twiddling its thumbs, trying to do stuff to justify its existence and like say like, oh yeah, we're protecting people, but it's not actually doing anything.
It's, America
It's like
in a nutshell.
completely performative.
Ridiculous.
US FDA might have blown things a little bit out of proportion with the Tonka bean, but luckily for me, I live in the UK, and the UK and the EU still have freedom to eat Tonka beans. Also, I do find it really weird that this was the hill the FDA decided to die on, because coumarin is also in cinnamon in
Oh my God.
lot higher quantities, and yet that's fully legal. So, I wonder what rival to Tonka beans possibly paid the FDA for that law. Now, mustard oil isn't really a popular cooking ingredient in the States, but it really is with most Indian cooking, and it has been used in Indian cooking for centuries. The thing with mustard oil is it really has that intense mustard flavor that packs a punch, so you have to use it sparingly. And you also have to use it sparingly because it does have some toxic chemical compounds in it. Mustard oil contains high levels of erucic acid, which is potentially linked to heart problems. For this reason, the United States FDA have banned the use of mustard oil in all cooking practices.
Okay, but mustard oil sounds really good.
Whenever I think of mustard oil, I just think of like the stuff that's in mustard when you don't mix it, even though I know that's not what it is.
Oh, probably not. Or maybe
No.
it is. I don't know.
But that doesn't mean you can't find it on USA shelves. You see, there's a really easy loophole for this one. I've seen it before. You just gotta slap a label on it that says, not for human consumption. But, you know, whatever you do with it after you buy it, that's up to you. I don't know, use it in a soap. Give it to a child to give to someone else. Treat it like a
God.
rock.
No.
Helps me go use the loo. It makes me feel like I'm mustard.
Oh,
Oil
my
be
God.
sorry for that.
Oh, my God.
That was horrible.
I'm hurting myself with these puns. All right, next up, foie gras. The foie gras is actually a French delicacy made from a fattened duck or goose liver that's
Ew.
eaten in the form of a pâté. Now, I added
like
foie gras
that.
to this list because in the
Yeah,
last video, we
I
saw
do.
that the EU bans a lot of
They're
US
pretty good.
food based on their mistreatment of animals. But this is an example of the US doing that same thing. So the US doesn't really enjoy that in order to get foie gras, it means that you have to force feed the animals to a point that's pretty inhumane. And as much as I'm saying, you know, this is banned in the US, it's not actually statewide, just certain states that actually have slight morals for animal health, that being California. That being said, it is also illegal to produce foie gras in the UK, and it nearly became illegal to import last year, but the bill never passed. But the French don't give a crap, okay? They don't give a quack. A quack, 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 quack. But I did just want to put this one
my-
out there because I felt like, even though it's not all the US, some of the states were like, don't do that bad thing to animals. So, slightly simple. Now, this one surprised me more than most of the other ones here, but in the US, it's illegal to slaughter a horse, aka kill a horse primarily for human consumption. But that is totally fine.
If it's illegal, wait, weren't there rumors of like Taco Bell horse meat like a really long time
That
ago?
was like a South Park joke.
I thought that was a real thing. It was
I don't know. It might have been.
That was
I just
wild.
remember it being a South Park thing.
In the UK and in the EU. In fact, you might have seen some news and the reports that Tesco used to have horse meat in their burgers, and the UK went
That's
mad.
upsetting.
There's quite a taboo on horse meat, I believe, because the animals have helped us through a lot of forms of society. You know, we've ridden horses. A lot of people have them as pets. Heck, I grew up with 2 horses on my property, so like, I'm a big horse guy myself,
people.
but this is actually a good example of the US being like, hey, no, the UK not actually banning it, but going, we don't really like it, but we'll have some horse meat in our Tesco burgers and complain about it. And then France going, shut up and let us enjoy our shawarma. And now finally, the Kinder Surprise egg. Now, most of you do know that the Kinder Surprise egg is banned in the States. In fact, on the back here, it says, warning, toy inside. Boy, that's scary. I hate when there's toys. I'm glad there's a warning here. Small parts of supervision recommended, not possible to sell to 0 to 3-year-olds. If I saw a 2-year-old walking in my shop to buy one of these, go back to 2-year-old school. What do they do at 2 years old? Rupert Grint's 2-year-old child just goes to Target. Now, most Brits that I've talked to know that the Kinder Surprise egg is...
Wait, what? Rupert Grint? Ron Weasley?
Yeah, it has to be him, right?
His 2-year-old child just goes to Target.
I didn't know he was with child.
I knew he had kids.
I should have assumed. But...
They're not in the United States, I thought. I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me, but okay.
And in the States. But most of them think it's because Americans are too stupid. They'll just eat the whole chocolate, toy and all, and choke the kids to death.
But we are stupid.
In defense of that argument, Americans are too stupid.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. And then they'd sue over it to, like, make, like, millions of dollars over literally nothing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Not actually why. And quite insensitive, first of all. The truth is that the US placed a ban on Kinder Eggs before Kinder Eggs even existed. You see, in 1938, they placed a ban on food containing non-nutritive items, aka the toy inside of a Kinder Egg. And this was a full 20 years before the Kinder Egg was even invented. Companies would just invent things and go,
okay.
Wait, but what about cereal with the toy in the box?
Or like cracker. Is that why there haven't been toys and cereal lately?
Honey, that's been since 1974 that law came about, and that's why the Kinder Egg doesn't have that. Also, when I was a kid, they had that, so stop calling me old.
Oh my God.
Use this for a cold, use it for a sore throat, selling it to people, not realizing, because they didn't actually do any research, it was actually poison. So many Americans were poisoned, so many children died from this poisonous cough syrup that basically the president had to be like, whoa, hold on, we need a foundation to look over all the food and drugs that are entering our American citizens' bodies and making sure they're all safe, or at least...
Good in theory, but isn't there like wood pulp in some of the food? Like, I feel like I remember
Parmesan
that being
cheese.
a thing.
It's just cellulose. It's just sawdust.
But that's a nutritive substance?
Don't even get me started. The FDA is a joke.
That a really rich corporation is going to tell us that they're safe. And then the FDA was born. So it might be an archaic law that prevents the Kinder Egg from being sold in the US, but you can still get the variant of the Kinder Surprise called the Kinder Joy, which isn't really as joyous. It's basically a half toy, half weird chocolate mousse thing. I've never been a fan, but then again, I've also never really been a fan of these. As a kid, though, the Wonder Ball, this type of thing, I would really like this, to be honest. I enjoyed my Cracker Jacks. Und die Kinder mag die Kinder nicht froh. Das ist Haribo, natürlich. And in almost all 50 states, the sale of unpasteurized or raw milk is fully illegal. In fact, there's a federal ban on the interstate sale of the stuff. So if it's illegal in the state you live in, you're not allowed to.
So in central Wisconsin, they have like a whole raw milk thing where basically it's a big smuggling thing and you can buy raw milk.
That's super weird.
It's pretty great.
I feel like we could do a whole thing on like milk in the US versus the UK because like honestly, like I've drinking milk in both areas and I feel like US milk, if you leave it at room temperature for more than 5 seconds, it goes bad.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird and UK milk doesn't have that in the slightest.
Buy it from a vendor outside of your state. Everything is legal in New Jersey, except the sale of raw milk. That is banned. But on the other hand, Arizona actually allows raw milk to be sold as long as there's a nice warning label on it, which seems like the most sensible thing to do. Though when I think about it, choosing to live in Arizona is probably the least sensible thing you can do, so it balances out. Now, the FDA's decision to ban raw milk was because the consumption of raw milk is linked to significant number of foodborne illnesses, some of which can result in serious complications and death.
But you know, we can't just regulate the milk industry. That would be silly.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like, okay, out of all these, this seems the most fair of all of the FDA's complaints. I mean, we looked at the previous video. It was pretty much carcinogenic things that are actively killing you and harming children. And the FDA goes, that's cool. Even though 160 countries have banned it, we're going to keep it up because it makes people money. This is a case where they actually went, oh, you know, this isn't good. I don't agree with them because I feel like a warning would make more sense for this specific case. But what is it that Americans are missing out on, you might be wondering? You probably aren't someone that normally buys raw milk. No, but you probably buy stuff that raw milk is made into, such as clotted cream.
Yeah.
They don't have clotted cream in the
good.
States. And authentic brie cheese. What? No, they don't have that camembert?
I love
like
brie.
camembert.
Not happening. So many good cheeses. Do you now know why America has so many things like American cheese, spray cheese? They won't let us have good cheese.
He's not wrong.
I like American cheese, though. I'll just put that out there. Monterey Jack is also top tier. Now, you
that
can
one I agree
find
with.
these types of illegal cheeses in the States, but they're not really authentic because they've been done using pasteurized milk, which changes the flavor profile quite a bit. So if you are an American watching this video, I highly encourage you, your next time you get to visit Europe, to try out these cheeses that you don't get a chance to try, because they're probably going to blow your mind with just how good they are. I am very thankful for the amount of amazing cheeses I get to try.
Yeah.
But that being said, I was going to cut this one out. I wasn't going to tell you, but I've been thinking about it ever since I learned about it, and now I want you to as well, okay? We're going to talk about cheese. Now, everyone knows that mold makes some cheese taste pretty good. I love a good blue cheese. It's a bit of a weird thing, but it's tasty,
good, though.
okay? It's accepted.
It's 50-50
But there's a
for me.
small island off of Italy, Italian island of Sardinia. They've got a cheese that they've been working on for centuries. It's traditional.
Doesn't it have
it's
maggots in
banned
it?
in the States.
Yeah, I think
it's
this is
mostly
that.
banned in the EU, except because Sardinia is claiming it's traditional. They can't technically ban it there. And it's called Katsumarsu.
Yep.
Now, Katsumarsu, it directly translates to rotten cheese. Bear with me here. It's basically sheep's milk made into a Pecorino Romano cheese, a standard cheese wheel. And then they get a specific fly to lay eggs in there. And just wait. It gets worse. They wait a couple months, open up the top, and then it's full of maggots just wriggling around, and that is when it's at its peak. That is when you try this delicious katsumarsu. You dip some chips in it, you have some wine with it. It's supposedly a delicacy. And if the maggots are gone, well, you can't eat it anymore because that means it's too far gone. So you have to eat it, maggots and all. And it's just, I will, listen, I will try anything. So I would try this. But we can all agree, US, UK, most of the EU,
Ew.
we did a good thing banning this weird thing. Who was the first person to discover this? Just let
I don't know. Like, is it really that bad? Like, if you think about
hell
it?
no. Just the hell no. To
Like-
the no.
Like, there's so many other products that are fermented. I mean, this is a little
That's
past
not fermented.
But, like,
That's rotten.
yeah. But, like, you know what? With
and
the
decomp.
US's obsession with protein, I do not understand how this didn't catch on.
Maggots don't have protein.
They don't have protein?
cheese out one. I have no more to eat. I must eat the rotten cheese. Oh, it's delicious. I asked my Italian friend about this and what her thoughts were, and she said, Evan, we Italians pretend Sardinia doesn't exist. I'd like to too. But something that isn't incredibly cheesy. Today's video sponsor, Squarespace.
Okay, let's end it there.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically the U.S. is a joke and Sardinia is nasty.
Yeah, that's the takeaway.
That's my takeaway from this.
Woo! Also, I kind of want to try Katsumarsu at some point, but that's like,
Well,
I don't know when we'll ever be
I
there.
guess you're going to go to Sardinia on your own.
Woo! I mean, that'll be easier once we live in the UK. Ish.
my God.
Actually, no, that won't be that much easier. It's still really far away.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No.
Oh. Yeah. Anyways,
So you know the drive that we take to New York?
yeah.
Probably about the same, but then you got to take a ferry.
I consider that far away.
Well, yeah, but that's not that far
Yeah, it's not
in the grand scheme of things.
it's not nightmarishly bad, but anyways,
Well, okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
yeah. And make sure to subscribe. Wait, you already said that. Make sure to subscribe for updates on the next
Please
video.
subscribe and hit that bell icon because it helps a lot. Also, we're trying to hit our baseline for watch hours and stuff like that. All that fun YouTube back rooms stuff that
nobody ever really talks about. But you know what? I'm gonna be very honest with all y'all. So yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.